How can you craft a unique and authentic personal story that also resonates with recruiters?
Let's think of a job interview as a date. You want to impress your potential employer just as much as you want to impress a potential partner.
In both cases, they expect
Someone that they can rely on. In the case of a company, it means someone who has a proven track record of success in a professional domain.
someone they can trust, which is someone who has the abilities, skills, attitude, and drive to do the job right and consistently go above and beyond.
Someone that they can love, someone with a great personality, who will be a great addition to the team on the personal level.
To really stand out, you'll need to come up with a pitch that brings together all of your strengths and shows how they align with the job requirements and the company's expectations. With the right approach, you'll be the catch that every hiring employer wants to snag.
The first great element of a good story is what I called skill matching. It's basically everything that shows that you have the right knowledge and background information required to do the job.
But knowledge is not only measured by what you know about a specific topic of digital marketing. If you don't have any experience in a specific field, you are not supposed to have a lot of knowledge in it, and that's fine. You accumulated a lot of expertise in many different areas during your life. Maybe not in digital or tech, but there are a lot of topics on which you are the expert, and on which you could be consulted. So make it count. Value it.
As a job candidate, your job is to make bridges between your own academic and professional achievements and what's required, valued, and wished by the hiring company. What's important is how you connect your skills to the job requirements, not whether your skills are in the digital or tech space. Your unique background and experience can't be taken away from you, and you can always learn the technical skills needed for the job.
Maybe you come from a scientific background. Let's say you have a degree in science, for example. What does it tell? It may be that you are analytical, that you can follow rigorous processes, you can manage complex operations, you have a strong attention to detail, you are good with numbers and have a logical brain. And guess what? There are a lot of jobs for these types of profiles in digital. It's a lot of transferable skills that you can reuse in your new job.
Another example, let's say you have a photography degree. Maybe you can tell something about how you are quite visual, you know how to catch people's eyes and drive attention and engagement. And of course, this is a great skill to have in marketing, regardless of the role. If that's the case, maybe that's a good enough reason to explain why you want to be a graphic designer or an account manager at a creative agency, for example. You could help advertisers to optimize their ads to be more engaging.
The general idea here is that you need to be able to value your achievements, but also back them with facts and anecdotes. They explain why they are relevant to the jobs and companies you want to apply for. They explain how everything you learned through your different experiences made you the perfect candidate for the job.
The second element of a great personal story is how you match your savoir-faire, your real-life work skills. This is how you make your previous practical work experiences relatable.
Here you want to say that not only you have the knowledge to be successful at the job, but you also acquired unique working skills that will enable you to do the job better than the next candidate. You want to highlight how the work, initiatives, and activities you have undertaken throughout your life connect with the role you aim to take, as well as the skills you have acquired from these experiences. It is important to demonstrate how these skills align with the requirements of the job at hand.
Make a list of all your practical experiences and think about what each of those experiences tells about who you are, and what you can do or are capable of. Have an example or a fact ready for each point you want to highlight. It can be work experiences, of course, but also side projects you've done, freelance gigs, voluntary work, school projects. Highlight anything that shows you got what it takes to get things done better than the next candidate. But again, don't just say it. Explain why. It's really important that you relate your experience with what the role requires and what the company expects from its future employees.
Lastly, connect your experiences with the jobs you want to apply for. To help yourself, you can have your resume and job descriptions side by side, so you can make each experience match each job requirement. When you describe your previous experiences, pay attention to the verbs you use. Make sure to use verbs that reflect leadership, seniority, and initiative, and showcase the results you got. Again, Don't provide a bland description of your experiences, tell a story instead. You need to make each point strong, clear, and relatable.
Here are a few examples of descriptions of work experience and what you can say instead.
Instead of saying, I helped to organize events for my previous employer, say,
Project management is something I really enjoy. In my last job, I spearheaded the planning and execution of various events for my previous employer, resulting in a 25% increase in attendance.
Another one. Instead of saying, I worked on a team that developed a new software product, say,
I am quite a team player and love collaborative projects. At Company X, I led a cross-functional team in the development and launch of a cutting-edge software product that resulted in a 20% increase in sales.
Let's look at another example. Instead of saying, I responded to customer inquiries and resolved issues, say,
In my last job, I served as the point of contact for customer inquiries and took charge of addressing and resolving issues, resulting in a 20% reduction in average response time. I also used to work as a customer manager in a retail company during my studies. Client-facing activities is what I enjoy the most, and I would say I thrive the most in high-pressure situations.
Here's another example of what not to say. I managed social media accounts for my previous employer. Instead, say,
I directed and executed social media strategies that boosted engagement and drove traffic to my previous employer's website, resulting in a 30% increase in social media followers.
Impression matter, and the way you describe your experience counts just as much as your experience itself. Just by describing your experience in the right way, you will come across as someone dynamic, prepared, and with great communication skills.
Remember, never downplay your experience. You have the experience already, and your roles covered more than your CV mentions. Make your experiences as relatable and relevant as possible to the company or job you target.
When you walk up to an interview, you should be able to introduce yourself and highlight how your experience and skills are in line with the company and role in a very clear way. Of course, you will do your research and will be ready to have an opinion about key industry topics. But you will also be able to explain why you and why them. How your personal experience and personal story led you to consider this job and career. Bring up facts and achievements to show how you can help the company succeed. Don't justify your application because you want more money, perks, benefits, or anything the company is offering. Focus on what you will bring to the table first, not what you are interested in.
We talked about the theory, and we just talked about practice. There's a third factor that is just as important as the two others, and that's your personality. We live in an era that celebrates diversity. Diversity is great for people but also very beneficial for businesses. It helps them to think out of the box and find fresh, new ideas and ways to innovate. It also helps their employees feel more comfortable and encourages them to be themselves. Don't be afraid to talk about yourself, what you like, where you come from, and topics that are close to your heart. Remember, you are unique, so show it.
To attract and keep the best talents, companies want to be seen as cool and fun workplaces. One is the easiest way for them to establish a strong company culture is to hire people with great personalities, people who embody the type of company they aspire to be. They want people who help make others feel comfortable, people who like to hang out with their colleagues, people who are not afraid to take initiatives and organize events. So if all of this sounds like you, if you have hobbies, work on creative projects, or do exciting things outside work, make sure to value it. And if you don't, that's fine as well. Think about what you like to do outside work, things that interest you or things you care about. There are plenty of things people can learn from you.
The main idea here is simple. Your personality is way more than just your soft skills. Besides just your academic background and professional experiences, you have a rich life experience that can be valuable to your future company. So express yourself. Show enthusiasm and passion, be authentic, share personal stories, and if you have a good sense of humor, don't be afraid to use it.